Hurricane Milton has left an indelible mark on the city of Tampa. As the storm advanced from the Gulf of Mexico, Tampa braced for the worst, but no one could have foreseen the magnitude of the destruction it would leave in its wake. With winds exceeding 125 miles per hour, the hurricane ravaged much of the city's infrastructure, while a massive storm surge flooded coastal neighborhoods, submerging homes and businesses under several feet of water. From the moment Milton made landfall, chaos took over the city. The violent gusts of wind battered palm trees, uprooting some and turning others into dangerous projectiles. Residents, many of whom ignored evacuation orders, found themselves trapped in their homes, surrounded by rapidly rising waters. Those who managed to reach higher ground watched from their windows as the streets transformed into rivers, sweeping away cars, debris, and even small boats. In downtown Tampa, the towering buildings, once imposing against nature's backdrop, also bore the brunt of the storm. Several skyscrapers suffered broken windows and damaged facades, while debris piled up in the surrounding streets. Businesses, from small local shops to large chains, were completely flooded, with merchandise floating and water invading every corner. Many business owners looked on in despair as their years of hard work were swallowed by the raging waters. But perhaps the most shocking damage occurred in the residential areas. Coastal neighborhoods, those closest to the bay, were hit hardest by the storm surge. Homes that had withstood previous storms simply couldn't survive the force of Milton. Roofs were ripped off, walls collapsed, and entire streets were submerged. For those who managed to escape, what they left behind was a scene of total devastation. Homes destroyed, furniture scattered in the water, and family memories lost forever. Emergency services worked tirelessly, trying to rescue those who were trapped. Calls for help came in non-stop, and authorities were overwhelmed by the magnitude of the disaster. Rescue boats navigated the flooded streets, picking up people who had sought refuge on their rooftops. But access to many areas was nearly impossible due to the debris blocking main roads. Ambulances and fire trucks were forced to work with minimal equipment, as many stations were either flooded or without power. The lack of electricity was one of the biggest challenges. As Milton progressed, more and more areas of Tampa were plunged into darkness. Power lines fell like dominoes and transformers exploded under the storm's pressure. Nearly 1 million people were left without power, and authorities estimated it could take days, if not weeks, before full service could be restored. Without power, communication systems also collapsed. Cell towers were knocked down, leaving many families unable to contact their loved ones. The impact on nearby rural communities was equally devastating. Entire agricultural areas were completely wiped out by the storm. Farmlands were destroyed, and farmers lost not only their crops but also their homes. Fishing boats, which once lined the docks of small coastal towns, were smashed to pieces by the force of the water, leaving many families facing an uncertain future without their primary source of income. Despite the efforts of local and state authorities, the scale of the devastation left Tampa in a state of emergency. Aerial footage showed an unrecognizable city, submerged streets, destroyed buildings, and a sense of desolation permeating every corner. Emergency shelters were overflowing with people who had lost everything, while rescue teams continued searching for missing persons among the wreckage. The hurricane not only caused material damage, but also inflicted a deep psychological toll on Tampa's residents. The scenes of destruction, the fear, and the uncertainty have left emotional scars that will take a long time to heal. Many residents, who had never experienced a storm of half this magnitude, now face the reality that their lives have changed forever. But amid the devastation, stories of hope and solidarity have emerged. Neighbors helping neighbors, sharing what little they had, and volunteers from across the country traveling to Florida to offer their assistance. The rebuilding process will be long and difficult, but Tampa, a resilient city, has already begun to rise from the ashes of disaster. Hurricane Milton has left an indelible mark on Tampa. As the waters recede and the winds die down, the city faces the daunting task of rebuilding. It will be a long road, but the community, united by pain and hope, will find the strength to move forward. What was once a vibrant city is now a battlefield against nature, but Tampa will rise again, stronger than ever.